Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, and now we have more rumors, especially about the RTX Super Series. That's a good eye, T-Dub. That's something that was certainly brought up. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. What's up, fam? What's up, guys? I'm sure you guys are pretty excited about all the NVIDIA RTX 50 Super Series rumors that you guys have, certainly have been hearing. Now they said that a lot of these 50 Super Series actually has been sent out to some of the AIPs, some of the companies that work with NVIDIA in order to actually produce these. Now, of course, the biggest issue is, I'm glad T Dunn actually brought this up, was that unfortunately there seems that there has been issues when it comes to pricing, when it comes to VRAM. Of course, that's no surprise. The modules are going to be very expensive as it is. If you guys don't know, when it comes to modules, when it comes to video cards, typically they have 1 or 2 gigabyte RAM modules inside of the GPUs. Now that they are able to create up to 3 gigabyte modules, that they're able to give you the more VRAM that you're looking for. Now, at first, allegedly, they say that you don't really need to change too much of the actual architecture or the actual board itself in order for you to be able to fit in extra VRAM, especially with 3 gigabytes. Now, some of the wording has changed on that, of course, and it seems that there has to be some sort of little changes to be made in order for this to work. And now that they are able to finally figure that side of it out, of course, they have one of the biggest obstacles which we all face, especially not just the manufacturers, but us on the consumer side, is going to be when it comes to the pricing of VRAM. Pricing of VRAM has been extraordinarily high. Same thing when it comes to us, when it comes to regular DRAM, or when it comes to storage pricing. Fortunately, NVIDIA is also facing the same issue. A couple months back, I'm not sure if you guys remember this or not, a couple months back, or a few months back actually, because it was a little while ago, that they originally were going to send out GPUs without the VRAM in order for them to actually be able to produce GPUs and not be able to have any type of supply delay. They were going to send it out to their AIBs, have them actually install their own VRAM, and then they could price it accordingly. But of course, it seems that NVIDIA is not going to go that route, and this article obviously highly contradicts that. So let's go a little bit deeper into about this 50 Super Series, and we'll talk about it a bit more here. So I'm going to go over here onto NVIDIA. You can ignore that poll. I'll definitely come up with a new poll for you guys. So now NVIDIA tells its board partners to hold off GeForce RTX 50 Super Series cards. I think that's pretty obvious. Right now we're on video cards if you guys are curious about where the original article came from. So now it says one NVIDIA board partner has already received the GeForce RTX 50 Super Series. Now one of them has received it. Now there's only very few manufacturers when it comes to actual producing fan shrouds when it comes to NVIDIA. It could be either ASUS, it could be MSI, Gigabyte, Zotac, PNY. There's quite a few in line. So one of them actually received it, but NVIDIA has notified the AIB that the products are on hold. So what's up, Takuma? Great to see you. Now the product is on hold because again of the VRAM, and our source confirms that the cards are physically available at the partner. So one source says they are there. I'm not sure how reliable the source is, but assuming that it's coming from video cards, I'm pretty sure that we can certainly expect it to be pretty decent of a source. Ernesto, what's going on? Yes, happy Saturday. Great to see you. Great to see you, Ernesto. Now, 3 gigabytes of G7 memory costs up to 3 times more than 2 gigabyte modules. So just think of it like this. If it's 3 times more of the actual cost, typically you could get a 1500, like a 5080 at $1,500, typically in USD. So if you do the math, if it's literally 3 times more, that's just unaffordable for most people out there. Most people are not going to be able to afford it. So realistically, you're looking at the pricing being a lot closer to about like 2,500 and even higher, maybe 2,700. and that is going to be the largest issue if they do end up releasing the 50 Super Series. People are not going to be able to afford it because, as you guys know, as soon as NVIDIA does release their Super Series cards, they typically release it in a fashion to where they slowly kind of release it. Yes, exactly, Takuma. Like a $2,500 RTX 5080 Super. May not be a surprise for some people because a lot of people certainly did expect that the VRAM pricing is going to be a lot higher. Whether if it's going to actually improve over, say, the RTX 4090, time will certainly tell on that. Of course, it's going to have newer technologies in there that can certainly take advantage compared to the RTX 4090, such as the transformer models. So, well, the RTX 5090 is on the 5,000 mark, so this is not surprising. Yes, truly, I know some people are not surprised. Some people are, you know what some people are certainly hoping for is that the fact that when they released this card, when they actually did drop this card, that they figured that it would end up causing the pricing for the base cards to actually kind of drop down. They're hoping that the value of the super cards would end up superseding the original pricing when it came to the base pricing. Meaning that if, for example, if the RTX 5080 was $1,500 now, they're hoping eventually the 5080 will hit that $1,500 mark because that was technically the old base pricing of what was the RTX 5080. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. We all know that it's going to be expensive. Ernesto says it best, arm, leg, kidney prices. Yes, it's going to be expensive. Unfortunately, that's the case, and it's no secret. But according to this, it's saying that the cost of the G7, the 3 GB modules, can cost up to $60 to $70. Now, you're looking at what's compared to what cost now the regular 2 GB modules can cost up to $20. So you can see how much of a shift that is, and you can see where the idea of pricing could come from. So Kuma says the price shifts by the RAM crisis is now 3.5 times from the original price. And yes, and unfortunately, this is not going to be a problem that's going to be fixed anytime soon. If you guys know, SK Hynix already has mentioned as that they were teaming up with NVIDIA after they had their earnings within their last earnings, that they mentioned that they would pretty much partner up with NVIDIA and that expect a lot of the DRAM pricings to remain at least until 2030. Originally, we were intended, Z-Man, what's going on? Great to see you. Originally, it was intended that that it was going to end up ending in 2027, but now it seems that it's getting further and further away from the truth because now 2027 is not that far away. It's only about less than 6 months away, and if that was true, then obviously we would see some sort of indication that the market is the volatility in the RAM market would actually cool off. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm sure, like when we look at different trends when it comes to the RAM pricing, we're obviously not seeing a positive shift. Now, of course, if anybody on lighter news, if anybody is in need of RAM, just go to downloadmoreram.com. It's a wonderful website where you can actually download some RAM down for free. You have some beautiful testimonials made by people, as they said, by the ex-RAM Lord. I downloaded 64 gigabytes of, and now my computer levitates 3 inches off my desk. The RGB LEDs are visible from space. And now my IT department says it was impossible. I showed them the task manager and they cried and I got promoted. And this is Karen from accounting. So let's go ahead and boost up our PC real quick here. We're going to download 1 terabyte real quick. And we will get our show started and prepare of checking out how the pricing is going to be here over at Micro Center. So let's go ahead and take a look at Micro Center here and see how it is looking when it comes to pricing. Now, for anybody that is also still coming in, we do have some great news. We got some new product that is coming in. Now, we have a new project that is going on. I'm trying to do my best to get in reach of one of the brands in order for this to make it happen. Mostly have the majority of the hardware ready to go for this upcoming PC build. All we really truly need is pretty much the RAM and the motherboard. So I reached out to a few of the brands, and hopefully we get a response sometime soon. I'm trying to get this done by sometime next week and expect a new build video for all the members. Just to let you know, there will be an unboxing video and information about the Noctua NL136, and it will be released within after this wonderful live. So the RAM crisis won't cool off because people are buying out PlayStation and Xbox consoles. That demand is so high just because GTA 6 is released in the end of the year. Yes, the demand's going to be high because of it, but I'm curious to see how many people are actually going to go through what they say. Now, there's going to be a few console people out there that want to debate the fact that they are not in agreement with the whole PS5 going fully digital. Some people believe that it should remain, some physical copies should remain. Microsoft, there are rumors that Microsoft is not going to actually stick to only digital, that they will also release optical drives, but I do believe that is not what they originally wanted. I believe that they also wanted to go fully digital. So T-Dun says, okay, Intel 270K Ultra bundle versus the 7800X3D bundle for the same price. Which one would I pick? Now, it depends on what I would be using the PC for. Now, if I'm going to be using it directly for gaming, I would definitely go for the 7800X3D. I would say that would be more of the pick. Now, let's take a look at to see exactly what T-Dun is talking about. If it is a Micro Center bundle, or feel free to send the link if you can. If you you can send it through Discord if you want to send over the link. So I'm assuming the 270K plus bundle is $749. Now this comes with the Gigabyte Eagle board, which is the Z890, and it also comes with the Intel Intel 270K plus, and it comes with 32 gigabytes of Corsair's Vengeance CL36, along with, compared to, just say, okay, so maybe it's probably the model before this one. Let's just go further down here. This bundle. So pretty much the same motherboard, it seems like, except this is the B6. No, that's the 9700X. Okay, so this one is a little bit more, but this is based on the 700. This one's $700, but I'm assuming you could probably get the white variant for Intel for a little bit more. They typically do offer those type of deals. Now, looking at this, it does come with ASUS's B650E Max Gaming Wi-Fi board, and it also comes with the... So this one is directly for those who are strictly what you're trying to go for gaming. This is great for those who want a full-fledged gaming PC. Now, if you're more into streaming and content creation as well, sure, this is a decent way to get started, but don't expect miracles out of it. In 2023, that 7800 bundle would be better with RAM, in case was $450. I know, they just recently kind of pushed up the pricing. Originally somebody actually brought that up a bit earlier. I think like about like a couple, I would say more than a couple weeks ago. It was more like 4 weeks ago that Micro Center actually pushed up the pricing slightly, to the point where a lot of people did not notice it. Like, got pushed up like roughly about $30 more on all the bundles. I think even up to $50 more. Now you compare it to the 270K plus. This is where the 270K plus shines, is if you are more of a content creator and you are more of the type of streamer where you do a bit of both. You're into gaming and you're also into doing things like Adobe Premiere. You want to use things like DaVinci Resolve. This would be a great bundle to go. Now, the only thing I can certainly tell you between Intel and AMD is that if you choose to go with the Intel bundle, you want to have the faster RAM. If you have the faster RAM, that will definitely give you a bit more of what you're looking for, as that will, because as you know, AMD has the X3D cache. That gives you the, you could have fast RAM, but it doesn't matter as much as long as if you can access the Infinity cache. But in order for you to take advantage of 270K plus, you need to have a fast RAM kit. So Raffle Skater says, oh, I noticed, also got rid of the 7700X bundle that was solidly priced with the 32 gigabyte of RAM at $500. Now, I can certainly say that when it comes to AMD, they do have a new processor that is released. If you guys don't know, within about I think it was 2 days ago, I would say 2 days ago roughly, the 7700X3D has been released. Now that is more of their budget processor for those who are into gaming. It's original intended price is around $320, but you could actually find it as low as $280 on Newegg. Micro Center, yes. Micro Center should have the 7700 X3D. Let's see if they have any bundles available actually for it. That's actually a great question because this is what we will find out. 7700 X3D. Not yet. Let's see if they have it first. Maybe it's still a little early. But it is released. No, they don't have it yet. I know Newegg has it. Let's take a look at Newegg. They have the 7700 X3D available. It's just been recently released, and more of the budget processor here. Here it is. So $328.99. They have it, but they do have a promo code. If you use the $49, technically you could spend only $279 on it. I got the Intel Ultra 7 270K Plus. Isn't it? It's amazing. It's like having a i9 processor for a i7 price. So for anyone that is just like debating on whether to get the 270K Plus, it is a solid CPU to get. Now they do have some bundles available here. They actually have a decent one. This one's a B850 ASUS Max Gaming Wi-Fi board along with a G-Skills memory. And then you also get, of course, it's 16 gigabytes of RAM that it comes with. It comes $50 off, so you spend less than $500, and it's 7700 X3D. So that's not too bad. If you're curious about the specifications when it comes to the L3 cache, it's about 96 megabytes, which is great, especially for anybody out there that is looking for the gaming side, because this is a decent, definitely a great build for anybody that wants to get started. I know some of you PlayStation 5 guys are out there. I know some of you Xbox guys are out there, are dreading the next system generation. And this is actually a great kit to start off with. This would actually build you. You can build a mid to high tier type of PC with this type of kit. Now that's just one kit. They also have another kit. Of course, this is much more higher priced because they do include some extra packaging in here, and I'll share the link in just a bit. But it's the 7700 X3D, and it features the ASUS Tough Gaming B850, so it's a newer board, but it is the B850M. The B850M is a micro ATX board, so it is a bit smaller, and it comes with G-Skills Flare X5 16 gigabytes. That's not as impressive, but it does come with the SanDisk Optimus GX Pro 850X, a great SSD. But again, it's kind of a bit pricey. I kind of like the other deal a bit more. If anyone does go for this, I would definitely suggest more of this deal. This is definitely the better one to go for, which is the ASUS B850 Max Gaming Wi-Fi board. Yes, definitely better than the Steam Machine. I know some. The only difference is that it's going to be a different form factor. Now you can build a Steam Machine out of the other bundle, as I mentioned here, which is a $929. But again, you're going to be paying more of a premium because of the pricing of it. I would think it was at least 32 gigabytes, but unfortunately, it's a bit more higher priced. So Takuma says the only point in the i7 270K Plus is the Z890 board is the end of the support one day. With this X870E 870 board, that's a 7800. You can update the CPU later to be a better one. Just to remind that. That's great that you brought that up. So Waffle Skater says, I'm sorry, wasn't the 7800 X3D priced at the 7700 is now priced. So they shot up the price up back up to $100. Let's make it seem like 7700 X3D is a steal, or am I just used to looking at Micro Center prices on the CPU? I think it's partially that you're thinking of Micro Center pricing because again, let's take a look at a 7800 X3D on Micro Center, and we're going to kind of compare that deal. So if we take a look here and we take a look at the AMD bundle, for anyone that is looking to build, if you're truly curious, especially for those who don't have access to a Micro Center, I completely get it. That's why I had to bring that up. But actually the pricing is not that bad because again, the 7800 X3D pricing is $700. Now it does come with 32 gigabytes and it does come also with a full B650E motherboard. So it's even a better motherboard. But again, it is $700 compared to something that you're spending a little bit under, which is about roughly $490. Not this one. It's the other one. About $490 if you use the discount code up here. So I'll grab this deal for you guys, and I will definitely share it for everybody out there who is looking for a deal like this. Now, I'm going to throw a poll in just a bit because I'm just curious. Has anybody, honestly, whether you're coming from console or if you're choosing to upgrade your PC, let me know what you guys are thinking because I am certainly curious about this. So I'm going to ask a poll asking, are you interested in the 7700X3D? Are you interested in the 7700X3D? Now, it could be that you're just starting off. Truly, I just want to hear the opinions of those who were thinking of something like this. So feel free to vote by 1 or 2. And that way we will have a good indication to see how everybody feels about the 7700X3D. Now, I'm certainly excited for this upcoming build. And I will share all the parts. Past, currently. Yeah, I mean, I think many people would... Yes, I still have a small cold. It's still left over into my system. I'm sure you could hear it. Yes, I'm glad you picked it up, Takuma. Yeah, I'm still getting a little bit of it. You know what it was? I thought I could just kind of like deal with the rest of the cold perfectly fine without taking any type of medication. And then, of course, I wasn't getting the proper sleep. So I was like, you know what? Let me just grab some NyQuil so I could get some decent sleep. So I ended up picking up some NyQuil. I ended up getting a good night's sleep. But now I kind of have like this congested type of sound. But I am feeling a lot better. Definitely a lot better. Definitely can speak a lot more. But hopefully it will bypass completely by this upcoming week. I am sick of being sick. Especially when it's July. It's just like the worst time for anybody to get sick. But for anyone that is curious about it, so no, there's no people really truly interested. This is the link for it for anybody that is interested in trying to get this processor. I'll post it up here onto X as well, as I feel like this is a very good deal for someone to actually hop onto. Let me see. I'll post it here too. Perfect. So, glad you're feeling better. Summer cold. Yes. Summer colds suck. What's up, Pixie Tuna? Egyptian. That's Egyptian, guys. If you don't know his new name, he changed it over to Pixie Tuna. That's him in the flesh. So, it seems that there is not as much people interested in the 7700X3D. I certainly can get it. Yeah, summer colds, man. I really hope it's gone. But for anybody that's just getting started on a PC build, honestly, to me, this is definitely one of the better deals. At least Newegg is already ahead of the jump. I'm curious to see what Micro Center will offer. More than likely, you'll see the more of the Micro Center deals, and probably within the next week, I would think. And I can't wait to introduce more stuff. I will post it up pretty soon on what parts that we ended up getting so far for this upcoming PC build. So far, technically, I got one. Mr. Rainbow, great to see you. How's the coffee shop running? I finally ordered the Herman. Oh, nice. You got the Herman Miller chair. That is a goated chair. I'm glad you got it. You're gonna feel so much better once you're sitting in that chair. I remember you did send it over in Discord, but I'm glad you actually committed with the purchase. Now, if you go with the 9850X3D, you're definitely gonna see an improvement. Not too good. Yesterday I tore my oh really? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, hopefully you feel better. Just make sure to take care of your calf muscle. I hate that feeling where it feels like it's constantly pulled. Well, I closed the one in London because I didn't need it anymore, so I moved to Israel, Tel Aviv. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that. I'm glad you ended up getting it. So if anybody's curious, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you are gaming and you have a gaming chair, it's probably more than likely destroying your back. I highly recommend getting a Herman Miller chair. It sounds expensive and even looks expensive, but I'll show you. I'll actually show it to you guys. 3 weeks of rest. Yeah, that's about right, Pixie. It takes a little time for it to heal. Now you want a decent office chair. Now you look at this, you're like, who cares? It's an office chair. It's boring. It doesn't look that great. But honestly, like when you sit in it, it is quite the life changer. You can sit for hours on end and you feel very comfortable. But again, the pricing might scare away some people. What I can certainly tell you is, of course, it is priced. It looks very expensive, but you cannot take away the comfort of actually sitting at your PC. Because as you know, when you sit in a gaming chair, it just feels like you're sitting on straight plywood or on some sort of composite wood. But the Aaron is an amazing chair. I'm glad T-Dun can certainly attest to it too. It is very comfortable, and that it literally feels like when you're sitting in the chair that you're actually floating up. So Mr. Rainbow says, I got a real good office chair with a total headrest. I agree. It's totally amazing. I got the Aaron, the exact model like this. Nice, nice. They do have headrest for it, this too. I know there's a lot of aftermarket chairs that actually do offer it as well. So you can actually easily get a headrest for this if you truly wanted to. Take a sip of water real quick, guys. The most important thing is that you get the proper size. They have A, B, and C. Usually, depending if you're really tall, then obviously you want a C size chair. Medium's great for like most people, and small is definitely going to be for those who are obviously not as tall. So back in the day, kids would be screaming, I'm happy for their dad's old office chair. Yeah, exactly. Office chairs makes is much more comfortable compared to using something like a gaming chair, because a lot of them, as you know, we could go on Amazon right now and look at a gaming chair, and you can just imagine they look nice. You would think they would feel nice, but a lot of gaming chairs, they look a bit more like this. Of course it's only 90 bucks. They even offer like massages and everything now. It's gotten quite interesting with the choices. I'll shut off this poll too real quick, guys, because as we see, it seems that most people are not interested in it. So this is the chair. It's an ergonomic chair. It looks comfortable, but when you sit on it, it's going to feel like a piece of cardboard, like you're sitting on wood. It's one of the most worst feelings you can get when you're back. So Downix, I know, right? Let me see. My son has the My Lazy Boy Comfy Leather Office. Oh, that's nice. I was actually considering that too. That was one of the chairs I was looking at. Rainbow Loves Coffee says, a gaming chair is a scam, just like exactly it is. Some of the newer $700 do feel good. There's only a few that I can attest to. I can say, like, when it comes to Secret Labs, I know Secret Labs is excellent when it comes to their stuff here, but again, it's not. I'm going to tell you right now though, it's not going to beat out Herman Miller chair. Herman Miller chair is just built really nice. Beantown says, look at Noble chairs. Okay, we'll take a look at Noble chairs too. Secret Labs has some excellent chairs, but again, it's not going to feel, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to feel as good as Herman Miller. And let's take a look at Noble chairs. Good morning, Beantown. Glad you have joined in. The gaming chair evolution here. Okay, that's pretty nice. But I can't say anything about Noble chair. I have not tried them before. But again, they're decently priced. Maybe we can try to reach out and try to get one of these chairs just to see how it would feel. I'm curious. Did you know Secret Labs stole their logo from a Chinese car company called DePaul? Oh, really? But I would think aren't they pretty much in this? I think Secret Labs is pretty much based in China as well. I have the Noble chair and it's bad. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, the Herman Miller furniture and chairs are good. Crazy good. I agree. Absolutely. They are much more comfortable. If you don't want to get fatigued while sitting down, I know it sounds crazy. It's sitting down getting fatigued, but it does happen, especially for those who sit for hours on end, especially gaming. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like when you're gaming, playing, say, Doom Dark Ages, and you're just sitting at the same FPS position with keyboard and mouse, and then like roughly about hour and a half, 2 hours in, you're like, man, I gotta get up and like stretch because this chair is killing my back. The good thing about these Herman Miller chairs that they you don't feel like that at all. You can literally sit on the chair for hours on end. But the most important thing about those chairs is that you have to sit on it properly for it to be comfortable. Otherwise, if you don't sit on it properly, it will punish you for doing so. So the Paul cars started 2 years. Oh, okay. Once you sit in one, you won't get up. Absolutely. And going back to the case real quick, guys. Speaking onto the NVIDIA 50 Super Series, for anyone that is just coming in and just curious about the Super Series that NVIDIA may be coming out with, the biggest problem is going to be the cost. It's obviously much more expensive. You're looking at, for the 3GB G7 chips, that they're between $60 to $70, versus where a 2GB module will only cost about $20. So hence, if you're curious why the pricing for these 50 Super Series cards are going to be so high, that's the main reason. So Mr. Rainbow says, if you're going to play a game that you're going to have problems sitting at a desk that has a function, yes, it's important. I got to tell you, that's also been life changing. Like having a desk that can actually lift up and down, it's amazing. It is truly amazing because you can set it exactly how you're comfortable with. And there's times where you actually do want to stand up at your desk. And when you do, it feels good. It truly does. So, Beantown says, I sat on their 6K Ches Lounge at Palms Hotel in Vegas. The best part of the suite. Oh, nice. Yeah, that is really nice. First year, my Noble chair is okay. Then the second year, you feel like your back is a little bit. Third year, your back feel like you're sitting on cardboard, and now my chair is 5 years old now. Yes, I know. I hate it. Yes. Unfortunately, this happens to everyone that ends up having a chair after a while. It shows its wear, and it's oh, you fell asleep on the chair. That's pretty funny. So for the models that are affected, is it says that the super models are still being mentioned, is a GeForce RTX 5080 Super, 5070 Ti, of course the 5070 Super. I'm surprised that they didn't bring up the 5060 12GB variant, but this one is a change to where they say GeForce RTX 5050 9GB model. Personally, I got a 55-inch 4K 240 Hz gaming TV in a beanbag, while my PC is with a controller. Hey, some people prefer it with the controller. Now, of course, having a beanbag and having keyboard and mouse is a little bit tough. Yes, you can't defeat that. That is undefeatable. 12-year warranty is excellent. And I got to say, the chair has been phenomenal. I've had like zero back issues with the chair. And some of you guys are like, who cares? Especially for those who are a bit younger that are like, I'm okay. I can just ride it out. I can just get a cheap chair. You don't want to do that. You want to end up getting a decent chair. It's going to be much more worth it if you get a decent chair. So, I mean, 165 hertz, not too. Oh, no. We got what you're saying. So, the predicted models is for the 5080 Super is going to be they're going to have a 24GB variant. They're also going to have, for the 5070 Ti Super, it's more than likely going to be an 18GB variant. The 5070 variant is going to be more than likely going to be the 16GB variant. And then when it goes to the 5050, they're saying 9GB. I'm not sure if they're going to go to the 5060. Again, technically, that's not going to be a Super Series. That's going to end up being that's going to be based on pretty much just a refreshed version of the 5060, going from the 8GB model over to 12GB in order to fulfill the VRAM requirements. So aren't those on? Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, they are on hold right now because just of how expensive it is. You're looking at prices where they're at the 1 and 2GB modules are roughly about $20. So the 3GB variant is 3 times more, and you're looking at about around roughly about $60 to $70 per module. So it's very expensive, and it's definitely going to reflect on the GPU. So GPU is good, people university. Yeah, but so anyway, When it comes to the Super Series, they're currently on hold because they know people are not going to be comfortable spending the price. How many people? So the next, I'm going to ask a question next. Now you can answer with one or two. Would you be willing to spend $2,500 on a RTX 5080 Super? Now you can easily answer by putting one or two. So I'm going to throw that poll out there. So NVIDIA spends 70, yeah. And that's per module. When are you thinking? Late next year? I think as early, I think in the beginning of 2027, to be honest. I would expect it in CES. So Takuma says no, not interested. Who is actually interested in the 5080 Super? Like, are you willing to be able to spend $2,500 on a Super and call it and pretty much have that as your main gaming GPU on your rig? How many people would actually be comfortable with that? Just out of curiosity. So far, we just got one no. In order to vote, you just put one or two. Unfortunately, it's not a GUI. So you just have to put one or two, and the poll will definitely move. So are you interested in getting a RTX 5080 Super? You put one for yes, two for no. So Z-Man says no. Okay, yeah. So far, a lot of no's. I think it's people are feeling like it's expensive. I mean I'd like to have a 5080 Super, but I already have a 5080. Okay. So Egyptian says he would. Now, if you already have a 5080 and you're happy with it, then I would just say stick with it. This is more for those who are maybe wanting to upgrade to a 24 gigabyte variant. For those who want, say, 4K to 40 hertz or something, or for those who need a super high refresh rate on a VGA display. For those who are going to be using it for, like, say, competition esports, that's going to be for those. So I have, yes, I know, right, Takuma? I'm pretty sure. I thought you had I think you had a third too, right? If I'm not mistaken. I thought you had three. Yeah, I knew it. I remembered. T-Down says, is the 5080 Super compared to a 4090? I think it's going to compare in a certain sense. I don't think it's going to match up in rasterization, but the tech will be better. Excuse me. Only because I do 3D modeling work. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. Just had to clear out my throat real quick. That's better. The wonderful cleansing of the body when you're sick. So only because I do 3D modeling for work, that would make sense because then you can take full advantage of it. I know some people, if they have the 5080, especially for those who have the 16 gigabyte variant, are you already happy with your RTX 5080? Just out of curiosity, do you feel satisfied with your RTX 5080? Do you feel like do you need more out of your 5080? I'm just curious to hear what you guys have to say, because I believe when it comes to like the boost clocks, when it comes to the standard clocks, they're not going to change much. It's just going to be more VRAM. So yes, exactly, Takuma. I am, because not one game have I ever ran out of VRAM and I'm playing at 4K. So there you go. There you go, guys. So for those who have been debating on getting a 5080, you have one right here that says he plays at 4K and has a little to no issues, or no issues really, when it comes to his RTX 5080 when it comes to gaming, and he has 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So can you please share what type of games that you also play? Because for those who are probably questioning whether if they should go ahead and with the purchase of something like a 5080 Super. Now I do agree, like when it comes to a 5080 Super, I feel that those who are going to take advantage of it are definitely for those who are more of into like content creation, like DaVinci Resolve is heavy into GPU usage, or if you're into Blender, something like that, and a 9950X 3D2, I think would be a great combination, like for a workstation build. But of course, as we all know, the pricing of RAM is truly expensive. It still is expensive, which we will get into a bit. Um, so I am, because not one game have I ever. Yeah. So that's your proof, guys. I'm gonna go over to the Micro Center here, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the pricing, because out of curiosity, let's see if there's any changing that we see. Oh, they got a new redesign. Preview our new store design. Interesting. Maybe we go check that. Oh, that's Columbus, Ohio. We're not in Columbus. All right, let's go ahead and check out some of the pricing when it comes to the actual RAM here, and see if there has been any type of real adjustment since. Okay, so right now we have $440. Putting a RTX into Blender is pretty expensive. Yes, that's funny. Corsair Vengeance are 32 gigabytes of CL30 is about $439. So far, it's been holding steadily at that price. I feel like that's a decent price for the RAM kits. The only games that I've heard have issues is Indiana Jones at max settings with ray tracing and modded to the Guild's Skyrim. Oh yeah, mods will definitely take up quite a bit of space. But of course, it's modifications. It's not going to be like really truly optimized for that. But it makes sense. It makes sense. But I'm glad that you've had like little to no issues, and I'm glad that you shared some of what findings that you've heard had issues with the game. Now, now the pricing is still high, obviously. I mean, you take a look at that Kingston Fury, you can see how quite expensive it is for the DDR5 5600. Of course, this is ECC, so this is pretty much error correcting memory. Great for those who have workstations. Is about $4,000. Now, if you're looking for 64 gigabytes, unfortunately, that has spiked up quite a bit. CL30. Now, this is CL30. It's $1,500 for 64 gigabytes. Pretty expensive, especially for those who are looking at the RAM side of when it comes to PC building. Hence why I say for anybody that is fresh into PC building, I highly recommend just getting a kit. You save a ton more money. And even if you didn't need, say, a motherboard or a CPU, this is definitely the way to save a bit more money. It's just expensive. Now, let's take a look at more 64 gigabyte kits, because this will kind of be our good indication here. Now, this one, CL38 for $979, so it's just slightly under 1,000. Now, most of the kits, here goes Crucial 64 gigabyte CL40, much more higher latency. So that's $900. And then you have one that's CL36, about $959. So on average, they're running about roughly about $900 to $1,500. Of course, you can get the G skills, but obviously, really expensive. Definitely not worth $2,000 for something like this. Micro Center doesn't really do third party, so this is all pretty much Micro Center pricing. So Takuma says, I'm a little bit in a conflict with Forza Horizon 6. Whoever updated the game, something they messed up now, that you can't drive normal through Tokyo. It's annoying. Oh, really? Oh, that's something you definitely got to bring up to Forza. Definitely tell the people at Forza for it. So it looks like the RAM availability is still going to be quite expensive. And for pricing, it hasn't truly shifted. Let's go. And if we take a look at PC Parts Picker, we'll exactly see how it's looking here. We're going to look at the wonderful RAM charts. And right now we're kind of in the middle of what we like to call stagnation. I'll shut off the poll. It seems that most people are not willing to spend $2,500 on a super. So now, if you take a look at this, it's mostly stagnating. But what scares me here is that you notice at the 5,600 mark here, and it's around 32 gigabytes for 2 sticks, right? But you see a slight spike up here, and it's causing some issues. It's lagging in the city every corner day. Oh, that sucks. I gotta play it to see if I'm getting the same exact issue that you're experiencing in Takuma. Um, but you see this slight spike. Originally, it was pushing at $1,000 back in May, as you guys see. I'll zoom in a bit more for you guys that want to see it a bit more clear here. You can see that over in May, it slightly hit 1,000, and now it kind of decreased, and now we're kind of in this increased mode. So it's slightly over 1,000. Hence why we're seeing some of the pricing going over 1,000 when it comes to the RAM kits. Now, what about 32 gigabytes? Let's go ahead and look at 32. The typical average, it's pretty much flatlined. You have a lot more people interested, it means, in 64 gigabytes of RAM. And more than likely, the reason for that is because they're concerned of running out of RAM. They feel like 32 gigabytes is like pretty much a minimum now. Igor, what's going on? Great to see you. So it's pretty much stagnating for the most part. It's mostly under the 400 to 500 mark. And apparently when it comes to Q3, allegedly, we will see that the price spiking will occur to where they're saying that you can see up to 20 to 30% increases when it comes to the memory side. But hopefully that isn't the case. Hopefully that ends up we just kind of ride through that. And when it comes to the whole SSD side, for those who are curious, I do have some lighter news because the solid state drives seem like they've improved quite a bit here. If you take a look at this excuse me, when you take a look at the solid state drives, you can see 990. The 990s by Samsung, the 2 terabyte Samsungs, is $389.99. So it's still pretty expensive. The 9100 Pro 1 terabyte is $250. So, but originally this was actually priced a lot higher. It was even more expensive. It was like ridiculously expensive. But the pricing has adjusted somewhat. I know some of you guys are certainly like, man, it's still way too expensive. I get it. Crucial's T710, which is one of their fastest SSDs, is reaching about $949.99. It's not a terrible price, but of course you could definitely get it for a much better deal. If we didn't have as much volatility when it came to the solid state drives, this would be pushing a lot closer to more like the $600 range. But it's headed in the right way, even if it's still overpriced. Exactly, Hidden. I am chilling after lunch. It's very hot. Yeah, that's rough. Going to Micro Center right now. 2-hour drive, but I got lucky. Oh, wow. Oh, man, you got to get it then. That's 100% worth it. Is that, I got to ask you, Martin, is it the XT? Is it the 16 gigabyte variant? Or is it just the 9070? Or is it the GRE? Because I know the GREs have been like, if you guys are curious, they do have GREs that have been going out for, yeah, they have the GREs that's been going out for sale too. Let me see. You can get actually a decent deal on them because they're not obviously selling as much as they thought they would. But they are still, even though they're not selling as they thought they would, they're honestly great GPUs to get. So for anybody that's tuning in, for all the wonderful members, just to let you guys know, I will be releasing the Noctua video as soon as this live is done. And you guys are more than welcome to watch it. And then for everybody else, will be released as soon as Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. So probably, let's see, it's the base 90. Oh, okay. That's still not bad though. Micro Center is great. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We got one in Miami. I gotta go. Oh, funny that you mentioned it. That's the Micro Center I always go to. The guys will definitely tell you that. Absolutely great GPU. The 9070 is the best bang for the buck. Absolutely. It is 100% the best bang. So Samsung is selling the 990 NVMe cards. No Evo, no Pro. Non-GRE. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Non-GRE. Let me see. So they have, I'm just curious to see. Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You definitely could. Let me see. Uh, it's funny. So I'm sure some of the guys, those, it's there's more things that I definitely want to do with that sword too. There's plenty more that I do have planned. Uh, the 9070 GRE. Let me see. Let's see. I'm surprised they don't have a category for it. Let me just try it real quick. GRE. Nope. I guess they just have it strictly as the 9070. Yes, the yes then one. Yes. You know that it's funny that you brought that up. Yeah, the last time we were there, we haven't seen any yes then in a while, right? That's one of the ones that we haven't seen in a while. I kind of miss those. Those are pretty neat, actually. Let's see. Let's go lowest price. If anybody is curious about getting the 9070 XT, I can definitely support you for it. I support anybody that gets a 9070 XT. And with that, the plus a 7600 XUD, I just got all my parts for a custom Steam machine. Builds total 1470 with 2 terabytes of storage. Awesome. I'm telling you, like having a custom Steam machine, you could save so much money doing so. Of course, you can even build it much more better, just like Martin is doing. It's going to be a beast. 1470 is actually a really good deal for it all together. Like technically, like you can make a Steam machine with a 9070 and everything for like that beautiful $1,400 range. Exactly. And that's why I keep telling everyone that building a PC in 2026 is absolutely possible. And you know, that's why I also feel like the Steam machine was a good idea because this is also influencing those to actually find ways to build a PC that is much more how do I say much more efficient and also not as expensive. So I'm using the 9070 XT in the machine and I'm on right now. It's absolutely yeah. I just hate how a lot of people ignore it because they feel that AMD has this stigma, and for some reason, all everybody can certainly tell you there is a stigma about AMD, and it's because that they say that it's because that the software isn't as good. AMD's Adrenalin isn't as good, but that's 100% not true. Adrenalin has been improved so much, especially since back then, especially for you guys that use the 580s. So you really need to hunt for the prices. It's getting harder, but absolutely. But I'm glad you found it though, Martin. That's awesome. I can't wait to see how it turns out. You got to show it off in Discord when you do. So the Steam machine is completely irrelevant now, unless for people that's going away from PlayStation. Yeah, you know the like I said, I feel like the Steam machine was never the end game. I feel like Steam machine was kind of a excuse for Valve to kind of come out with their own Steam OS. I'm really excited for the Steam OS because I feel like this could easily be the OS that most people would certainly enjoy. So my friend made a build early 2025 with a 9070 XT, 16 gigabytes. He was happy with it before the prices went skyrocketed. I bet. Sama PSU. I cannot say. I am not sure of Sama PSU. You do have me curious though. What the hell's Sama PSU? You piqued my curiosity here. Let's take a look. Sama PSU. Sama Gears. Huh. It's weird. You would think it would take you straight to the website, but here we go. I found the website now. As long I I don't like how the outside looks, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm more curious about what it contains. As of now, I'm kind of sketched out because this looks like more like has a 10-year warranty, which is good. I have to research it a bit more. I got to see what they use. They use Japanese capacitors, which are good. That's what you want inside of a power supply. I have to research it a bit more. So I was building a PC yesterday and used the MX Cleaner RTX on green area around the CPU. Am I on the safe side? Yeah, of course. As long as if it's pretty much dried out at that point. For sure, I'll take pictures and post. Yeah, please do. I know it's kind of weird, right? Yeah, I definitely got to research this a bit more. Let me go into the company. I haven't heard much about them, but pioneered in Ice Chillin series. Okay, so they originally came through Guangzhou. Ah, this is, to be honest, I feel like this is more of China's tech here. So personally, for me, I don't like a lot of China's tech. But I mean, you could try it out, see how you like it. For me personally, I wouldn't kind of trust it. There's nothing about one of the biggest things you have to worry about when it comes to power supplies is voltage spikes, and that's what I would be concerned about. Let me see. There's nothing containing about voltage spikes, and that's what you want to look for. Here goes the capacitor here, LLC, 12 volts. That's right. Yeah, there's nothing about spiking. So that's the biggest issue you would have to be concerned about. It says efficient power here. It does improved spike tolerance for. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, there are over 100 PSU brands, but only 10 to 15 companies that manufacture them. Absolutely. Seasonic is definitely one of them. I always highly recommend Seasonic. As you guys know, Seasonic is amazing when it comes to their PSUs. Um, thanks. Does that go for the small dots on the Z890 board? I wiped going up and down without messing up. Yeah, yeah, same thing. Corsair PSUs usually do 10. Yeah, exactly. Cybernetics, the SAMA latest G and P series is Cybernetics. Oh, okay, okay. Cybernetics is, they're talking about this certification here, right here. And what that is pretty much saying that it is a 80 plus gold power supply. It's a certificate. You do have to go through hoops. I gotta say, you do have to go through some hoops in order to get that certification. But I'd say that's actually pretty decent of them to actually get that legit, because there's a lot of companies out there that say it, but they're not really truly 80 plus gold certified. So that's usually the cybernetics that rates the efficiency when it comes to the power supplies. So it might be decent. It might be in the very early stages, and maybe that's why I'm a bit sketched out. But of course, for anyone that is building a PC, I always recommend do not cheap out on a power supply. Getting a decent power supply is everything to your system, because if you get something that is a bit cheaper, if you go onto AliExpress, for example, and get a power supply, and it ends up giving you some sort of voltage spike, you could literally destroy your PC. And just imagine you built with, say, an RTX 5080, how unimaginably pissed you would be for that. So Sama inside has a SPL tier. Just check that G series is A minus. So that's a good thing. I have noticed that the only PSUs that fail are very lightweight. That's true. The heavy ones like Seasonic and Corsair don't fail often. If your PS, yeah, that is true. It should have some decent weight. It should feel like a brick. Corsair or Seasonic, if it's legit, it's a great budget PSU. Absolutely. And besides, PSUs are actually really good. I just feel that's another one that has a really bad stigma because of everything that's happened with the 5090s. But honestly, they're great. They are great PSUs. Actually, I personally use one on my gaming rig. I actually use the MSI's MPG power supply, and it's great. I have no issues with it. Um, First rule of PC building, yes, absolutely. Do not cheap out on PSUs. Do you think I should take off the CPU and clean the edges, or uh, uh, inside the socket? You think you have some inside? You got to be really careful about that. Uh, if it gets into the socket, you're talking. It's really risky. If you're gonna go that deep, are you sure it's in the socket? You have to be sure first. Be sure that it's actually in the socket. Or is it like very little? Let me know, because I'm really curious. Because that's you don't want to. The reason why it's important, what I know you use Arctic Green to clean it. Is is the thermal paste you have conductive? So I have a MSI power supply and it feels heavy. Yes, it is. It's 100% legit. I agree. Corsair or Sonic, absolutely animal. No, I do not take it off. I did not. Okay, I wouldn't worry about it honestly. I think a lot of people panic about that. Don't worry about that. I got MSI PSU to go with all MSI, Mobo, MSI AIO, MSI case. Yeah, I love a full MSI build. That's like the Governor case. Hidden, have you got to check out the new case by MSI? It is sick, right? Their brand new case. And if you guys, I gotta bring it up to you. I'm gonna bring up the case because it is a really nice case. If you guys haven't checked it out, let me see. I'll pull it up right now. In fact, I'll send you some. Oh yeah, sure. Feel free. If anyone wants to send something through Discord and share it with the chat, let me know. I will be willing to show it. Yes, Liam Lee's actually great too. There's quite a few good manufacturers. Just to avoid the ones that says like things like I'll actually show you. Let's go on Temu and look at some power supplies. You know how it looks up squishy. Power supply for PC. Oh wow, they make you sign in now? I guess they don't like yeah, I guess you have to sign in now. Wow, I guess they don't I guess they don't like it being shown on the stream. Alright, let's try this. We're gonna look it up on AliExpress. And here, I'll pull it up. Right now, at the same time, I'm kind of multitasking because I'm trying to find the MSI case here. Right. I'll find it. I'll definitely find it. These are power supply for PC. Let's put 1000 watt. 1000 watt power supply for PC. And here you go. These are the ones that you have to question. Don't you love this? They really don't like being on stream. How many buses are there? I don't see any other buses. Oh, I guess that's a bus. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay, and now it wants to play games here. There are no other cars. What do you want me to hit? Do you guys see any other cars? Because I don't see any other cars. I see a bus. I guess that's considered a car. Okay. I guess they don't like 1000 watt power supply. Okay, I will bring it up though. I like on MSI's PSU, they have a button on the back so you can either run. Yeah, exactly. I do like that. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to click on this. There we go. It's the ATX desktop power supply gaming quiet for $75.39. That's sketchy. Even the symbol sketchy. Remember this? Simply yes, the famous dunk thing. That's what it looks like, right? Look at the symbol. Doesn't that look eerily familiar? It looks just like a symbol that we know, right, guys? If you really take a look at that, let me bring up one here. There you go. Kind of looks like this, right? And you know it doesn't even start with a... It actually looks like wings. Like they put some sort of wings there. Most importantly, it has the RGBs. It has the power on, power off, and the RGB switch. Of course, you need an RGB switch when it comes to your power supply, right? And then, of course, it has these wonderful... Man, that looks shady as hell. And the fan noise is, I guess, important. Overload protection, okay. And let's go to the reviews. It just says, there's only one review on this. And it says, good item. Yes, that's what it looks like, right? It looks like the Skywind. It looks just like it. And the Skywind is another one of those knockoff PSUs. So I'm going to show you guys the whole MSI case. I'm just trying to find it right now. Here it is. Let me see. MSI. Let me find it actually off here. MSI case. PC case. We'll find it. I thought I had it posted, but I guess I didn't. And let me see if they have it. This is a nice case too. I like the Pano 100L. Here it is, the Mastro. This is a nice case. And look how expensive it is though. A $700 case. That's ridiculous. The only thing I buy from Timo are t-shirts. I could get that. Like some things you can get away with. $75, but you save 103. Yes, that's right, Animal. You said these AI bot product reviews are the burner. They're terrible. I sent you 4 pictures on Discord. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll share it. I'll share it right after this. Take a look at this PC case, guys. It is a really nice case. It's fully customizable. I mean, you can fully like take this apart. It's really an amazing case, especially for anyone that wants to go full MSI. And if you guys probably are like, hey, I've seen that case before, you probably have. We've seen this case in person at CES. And what they had in it was the MSI Lightning. You can just imagine how costly it could get if you have the combination of all MSI high-end parts, like the MSI 5090 Lightning and with the MSI godlike motherboard. You can imagine. But this thing is a beautiful looking case though. And let me see. I wish it showed more. Even look at the weight. Approximate weight is 72.75 pounds, which is really heavy. That's roughly like about like I would say 35 kilos. Maybe about like 34 kilos. But just to convert it for you guys. It's actually bad. I've seen. Oh, really? Swap out for the items. Oh, really? You see, people said that it's not that great. That's insane. I do like this Pano case though. This is nice. If you guys notice that they're kind of moving away like from this whole like fish tank type of design. My case is like the net 8 to 9 kg Antec C5. Yeah, it's a nice case. I do like this case. I saw the Gungner case for under 7. The Gungner case is a really... I like Gungner cases too. We actually did a PC build full MSI, and that was with the Gungner case. And let's go into Discord actually, and take a look at what was sent to us here by Jamil. And we'll see. Let's see how it's looking. Are you also using which AIO are you using? That kind of reminds me of the like similar to Noctua's design here, or is it Arctic? So let's go over here. I'm going to switch over Discord, guys, so you guys can check it out. Okay. Oh wow. So that's the thermal paste. That's a lot of thermal paste. And I'm assuming afterwards you ended up... Oh, wow, yeah. No. I can see what happened here. Yeah, that's... I know, that's... Yeah, it's okay. Okay, it doesn't look like it got into your pins, so I wouldn't worry about it. It definitely got to wipe it off, and you only require just a dot. For Intel, you just need like a P dot size into the middle, and it'll naturally kind of spread out. I get it. I can see why. It looks like it ended up mostly on the processor. Yeah, I think you're safe. It doesn't look like it really went onto the actually went onto the motherboard itself. But yeah, definitely you want to clean that obviously off. And let me see. Down on the bottom here on the corner, it's probably stuck on the lid. So you just want to clean that off too. You want to make sure that's also cleaned off because uh, you just don't want, because over time that's gonna, you just want to get it while it's still there, like the grease. So again, you can use that cleaner. If you run out of that cleaner, just use some like alcohol, not directly onto the processor, but like onto like something like a coffee filter, and then you can use that to wipe it off. I saw some tech vids that intentionally put paste on the pins and still. Oh, that's funny. That's pretty funny, actually. And right here. You see this gray small paste line? I'm scared to wipe it off. Honestly, it's not going to affect anything. You can leave it there, it'll be fine. But aesthetically, if you want to clean it, you can. But you're okay to wipe it off. You are okay. Again, same instructions. I would recommend just when you're wiping that line off, this line here, what I would recommend to do is just use something like a coffee filter with alcohol and just wipe it. It'll come right off. You're probably more concerned about the solder points. The solder points you're going to be okay. I wouldn't worry about that. Other than that, when it comes to, but you clean it off mostly well. Of course, you can if you wanted to, you can clean all in here, but you gotta pop off that lid again in order for you to clean it. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that we're able to help. But I'm just glad it actually didn't end up going into the pins. Not that you want to run that test. I'm sure that it might even post if you put it into the thermal pins, because technically I know not all the pins are necessary for it to run, but it's just efficiency that you truly want it to work. The lightest case with good, yeah, I agree. The metal is thin, but the case work absolutely. I think the biggest complaint about that case is that when you put it on, it's easy for it to kind of bend out or kind of warp. And I think some people just feel a little bit mixed about that. But I think the 903 is an excellent case and a great budget case for anyone that is building a PC, for sure. But I'm glad we were able to look that over. Of course, feel free to always ask questions, and anybody is also more than welcome to anybody is more than welcome to also post anything that you would like, and you can feel free to be featured here onto the chat. So let's go back into the browsing side. But yeah, going back to the cases, I do like this Magpano case. It's pretty sick. And the Gugner case. This one's like a good classic. Where's it at? Oh wow, they don't even show it as much. I saw a video using toothbrush with. I was scared of that. Yeah, yeah, that's a bit crazy. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So again, if anybody's building a PC, just start off with a kit. That's definitely the best way to go, especially when building a PC. Now, what's up, Rugal? Welcome, welcome back. Great to see you. The 7700X3D is not here yet at Micro Center, but it will be. Give it probably until next week. You'll probably start to see it show up at the store. They do have some decent deals. Actually, I'm doing okay. I'm still recovering from this cold. I thought I would be over it by now, but I still have like some slight stuffiness, and the wonderful mucus that comes out. But other than that, I'm mostly good. I'm well enough to be doing the show, at least. And of course, today, as for anybody that is following the whole FIFA World Cup, today is the day where obviously Argentina plays Spain. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, speaking of which, for anyone that is looking for deals, they do have some great ones. This RTX 5080 short form factor is an awesome deal for 1179. That's actually priced similar to some 5070 Ti's even. So that's actually a really good price. So if you're doing a short form factor build, this would be something to take a look at. The new Lian Li B4K, it does. It does look interesting. Actually, I'll bring that up. What are some of your favorite cases, guys? Let me know. Put it in the comments. I would love to take a look at it. This is it right here. If it opens up, this is the Lian Li B4M ATX case, because it seems like short form factors is a thing. Oh, that's pretty dope. I like that. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go use the restroom. I forgot to mention, on all MSI builds, I got an MSI. Did not work. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of their like peripherals, they always go for the cheap. If you ever notice, I'll be right back. I am back. So, just ordered some. Oh yeah, yeah. I was curious about that RAM kit. I wonder how that was gonna be. Bobby, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. At least I hope I'm doing great. Uh, Jamil says, "Oh yeah, I asked here about it the other day." Yeah, yeah, it was funny. I actually looked it up just out of curiosity. I am all about giving underdogs a shot. Yeah, I agree. I hope it's going to be great and deliver what is advertised. Yeah, I gotta give them a shot too. Um, I feel like there should be more competition. If we can get more competition, I think that is also great for sure. Because then what leads to competition is going to be fair pricing, especially when it comes to PC components. We all don't like to pay more than what we need to, especially when it comes to PC hardware upgrades or when it comes to PC builds. So, but I do like this case though. It's pretty nice, especially for those who are looking for like a compact type of short form factor type of build. Um, so it fits up to even up to a 360 millimeter radiator. So it's a decent size. Looks like let me see if it has the dimensions. I'm sure it does. Up to 358 millimeters, so it actually has decent sized room. Um, I like it. I do like this case. That is nice. I'll definitely take a look at this too. It's $70 for this case. Not bad. And I guess they got the different looks. I like how they do that. Enhanced airflow accessory kit. Or wood. I guess you would have to go for the wood aesthetic if you just wanted that. Which ones would you guys prefer? A mesh, or would you prefer wood? One of the cases I like is Bitfenix T10. Okay. It also includes 4 fans and an RGB controller. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Bitfenix T10. You guys can feel free to mention the cases that you like. We're going to check them out and see how they look like. Okay, this one's a nice case. This one has the cuts to it. Now obviously it doesn't have a price on this, but it's probably a decent price, I would imagine. 443, so plenty of room to fit a GPU. And the heatsink height is about 155. That's plenty. Motherboard type is ATX. And that's the Z790. I'm assuming this is the Zero? Yeah. Project Zero board. Because you could tell, like, because of the where the connectors are. 68. Oh, okay. That's not bad. This isn't a bad kit. And one of the hidden, I gotta say that they honestly surprised me, was Gamdiaz. Gamdiaz actually has some really nice cases too, like the one we used on the ST machine, type of PC build, because the way it's designed too, it's like they have upgraded the design to where it's more of like a curved glass. Let me see. MSI case he showed earlier is underpriced. It must be taking a loss. Those cases are, yeah, for those cases, yeah, for sure. Radiated Titan, what's going on? Now the one that I do like here, which was the PC case, water coolers, air coolers, fan gaming. Let me go down. It's gonna be down here. Cases. What is that case? The M5, I think it's called. Let's actually go into Gamdiaz website. Gamdiaz, I think it's the Atlas C5, M5. Yeah, this one. It comes with fans and everything too, but this one's the older model. The newer model, it's more of a curved glass instead, because they're kind of getting rid of this whole fish tank design. It's more like this. It's more curved. The older one was like more sharper. You can see the difference between the two, but it's more curved now. I appreciate it. Would be nice. I still did not buy RAM and GPU. Still trying to find a good deal. Yeah, that sucks. Saw your yesterday's post about what's new on PC building. Looks like, oh yeah, you saw that? That's pretty funny, right? That's how it's gonna end up being at this point. If prices consistently go up and go up, it's just going to really get expensive for everyone, and everyone's going to end up getting DDR3, and everyone's going to end up getting the 2.5 inch SATA drives, because it's just insane what the costs are. It's risky buying stuff that is not mainstream, but a lot of the time it's actually good stuff. You know, the funny thing is about that PC build was that we ended up using 4790K back then. Devil's Canyon. It was a beast of a CPU, and never would go above. It wouldn't even touch like above 46. And it was quiet too. That was like what Intel used to be back on its prime days. But Gamdiaz is a good brand to take a look at. I do like, of course, Lee and Lee. Lee and Lee makes excellent cases on a wonderful pricing set. MSI has nice cases. Of course, ASUS has wonderful cases too. But of course, you have to pay quite the premium if you choose to go to the ASUS route. I know some people are a fan of that, especially because some of the cases can be quite pricey. Let's see. Yeah. And that's exactly it. Everybody definitely calls it out, I gotta say. Let me see. There we go. They got. I do like the Chronix White Edition though. That's sick. But just imagine how expensive this is going to be. This it looks like a little benchmark, right? The GR20 edition. But look at this. It's all open. It's a very unique looking case though. What do you guys think? Like all the like look how you could set it. You can set it just like this. It's a nice wonderful open airframe. So it has high efficiency heat dissipation. Not going to be good for those who have dogs or cats, though. I'll say that. Imagine if you have dogs or cats, this will definitely get some hair on it. And because imagine there's no real filter there. I have been using Asus products since the 95. They've been, oh yeah, I agree. You pay for what you get for sure. And some brands are great, and you don't even have to pay some extra premium tax on it. The Anaconda 7200 megahertz CL34 sounds, oh nice, nice. Getting specific there. You know what? I'll highlight that for you. I'm gonna just for you, Jamil. I will keep that in mind. I will definitely reach out. Let me see. I'm gonna put it in my pad here. There we go. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron will pay the core $400 million, but they won't yeah. They don't want to. They're making too much money. Just think of it. If you're making billions of dollars compared to just making just millions, I mean, what's the answer there? It's like if you had a job that you had a decision to choose to make whether to make say $25 an hour, or would you rather make $300 an hour? So for them, that's how they look at it as. It's like they're making the most bang for their buck when it comes to their DRAM. Even though they feel like they're valued, at that $300 an hour, really there should be more valued at $25. So I didn't get that kit. It does not support AMD. I got the 6000. Oh, okay. Yeah, because the when it comes to AMD, you want to have obviously 6000 to 6400 megahertz. The 7200 megahertz, I could definitely reach out because we could definitely throw it into the system and we could run tests on the 270K plus, because I saw that's what you also have. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, where is Wasabi? That's a great question. Wasabi might be working though. He's been working a lot. I'm sure he's around. It looks nice. Just saw the white model. Yeah, absolutely. It is nice. But yeah, this is nice to have. Just it's not nice if you have pets. I'll say that. But they came out with a lot of really decent cases. Like this Chronix is pretty dope. It's an EATX panoramic case. But again, it's like I'm kind of at the point where I'm kind of tired of this whole fish tank design. But this is the one where it has the whole the screen in there, where it has that pretty dope looking screen where you can kind of customize the looks of it. What's up, Amir? How's that WireView Pro too? How's it treating you? I'm feeling a lot better. For some reason, I'm getting my ass kicked in the last couple days. Hopefully by tomorrow. You know what they say? You always feel worse the last few days of being sick, and then you get better. And it's certainly feeling it that way. Now, some of you guys I know saw this when we were over at CS. We got to see this in action. There we go. 9.2 inch LCD screen module. And I want to show you guys the other part right down. No, they don't show it. But the point of this is you can have like that hologram almost on the side of your PC case. Oh, I bet. I seen like how you were measuring out the pins. That's pretty amazing. I'm pretty sure it will be good. I will try to overclock it and see how the headroom is. As long, see, the thing is, a lot of these manufacturers, they also use like SK Hynix, for example. Test that all my pins are balanced. Playing Creed Black Flag Resynced. Yeah. How are you liking that game, by the way? I hear very mixed things about it. I hear some people say it's decent, and then some people say it's not as great. Nice, Tressa. Ah, yeah, Jamil's definitely asking. He wants you to truly push it. Really? I'm gonna have to get it as part of my collection then. Yeah. This is pretty dope too. They have the unified I/O panel. I don't get why they don't do this more. Where it uses included USB 20 gigabits per second Type C ports with supported 60 watts fast charging compatible. So it has double Type C ports. I feel like with newer cases, this is what we're gonna be seeing a lot more of. It's also BTF compatible. Thank you for subscribing, Lucky. Martin23 says, do you think the current prices just become the norm? And even when businesses go back to normal, like everything else in life went, yeah. You know, the problem is, I feel like we're kind of, it's hard to see everything reverting back. Because you typically, like when you come to paying things, realistically, for example, you pay your insurance, say like $700 every 6 months. Sure, it will drop down, but it's never going to drop down to what it was, say, 10 years ago. It's kind of like that. When pricing goes up, you're never going to see it truly drop down back to 32 gigabytes, say, for a set of CL36. Back then, September of 2025 could get you roughly about like $92 you would spend. That's it. No more, no less. And that would get you a decent kit. But now with everything being so volatile, especially because of the new demand for DRAM, honestly, I don't truly think we're going to see true price reduction to, say, $92 kit of RAM. It's just not going to happen. I do think we'll see price reductions, but I don't think it's going to be as significant. I think we are kind of catching up to where it almost should have been. And ironically, it sounds like kind of like almost like an oxymoron, but it's true. It's, you look at pricing when it comes to PCs, like back in the 90s, they were just as expensive. So it's going to unfortunately remain at these levels until like the demand actually kind of cools off on it. So yes, that's what I agree with Hinnon. Maybe Wasabi is in China. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he's doing his own. Maybe he's finally getting to wood crafting. Maybe he's getting into Project Wood. He really wants to. You know that would kill him if we go on this channel and we really go like for a full Project Wood build. I think it would be so angry. It would be funny though because and they do have. I gotta say they have some these decent boards. Like I like Gigabyte. I mean, how do you not like this? Like. I'll show you. Gigabyte's Arrow, right? Gigabyte Arrow wood. And they got multiple wood colors here. Did you see my video link to the... Yeah, I did. I did. Let me see. For some reason, it's not letting me go into that one. Here we go. Doesn't that look nice? It looks sick, right? I know I'm not tripping. Because I know it looks sick. Oh yeah, he did? The Thermal Grizzly liked it. That's awesome. I'm glad that they liked it. But just imagine you do a full PC build like this. Yeah, it's a newer board. It was like released late of last year, but they have multiple colors. This isn't the only one. What's new is the different color variations that they actually have for the wood design. And for example, they have this one, and they also have one that's a dark wood color. Let me go back here. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So imagine you combine those two together. Let's see. Here it is. There's a dark wood one. This would go really good with Asus's actual Pro Art case. You see that? Those aesthetics are sick. They even, if you take a look back there, like in that case, there's also a GPU that has the Arrow wood. So just imagine you had that with the Gigabyte Arrow wood. Um, you can actually make it look pretty sick, I think. Army crate from Asus. Yeah. I think they can never let, I criticized this before, and for some reason, some companies don't like being as criticized, but I mean, it's the truth. I mean, what can you say? It's a rough around the edges, and I just hope that I always hope that they take the criticism to improve, and that's the thing. I just don't like when some companies, they feel that because they know they make great products, that what you say doesn't matter. But that's not true. I feel like all criticism certainly matters. It doesn't matter from what type of walk of life. If you could have just built a PC yesterday and have your criticism, because that PC that you've built, you might see something that a veteran like us who built PC for many years may have not seen. So I feel like all criticism does certainly matter when it comes to it. So I don't use the salt. Yeah, exactly. You just go to the Asus website and you just download the software. But that's the wood styled motherboard GPU. I think again, I think it's a sick design, a dope design. But how many people would actually like to see this? Like if we go ahead and do something like a Project Wood type of build. Or would you guys prefer to see something more of like a micro build, like something much more smaller? There's definitely quite a bit of projects that we do have in mind. But let me know. I'm gonna actually put up a poll right here because I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Are you guys interested in Project Wood? Interested. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just typing in the poll. Oh man, I keep messing this up. Are you guys interested in Project Wood? So you just simply vote by going 1 or 2. So is Gigabyte 100% sure the wood might? Yeah, nah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I felt it before. It has like a wood feel. It's like composite wood. I would buy I know. I said this. And people kept getting pissed at me for saying that. Do it. It would be nice to get sponsored for it to encourage others. Yeah. So Jamil says it. Radiated Titan says he's in support of Wasabi. He's like, hell no. No, it's okay. No, you're all good. Good to see you, everyone. Good looking. Yeah, I'll stick to Pro Art. There you go. Specifically, if they're those products, Gigabyte lost me when they started using liquid thermal pads on their. Some people weren't happy. The server grade thermal pad gel pads. So far, it seems like nobody, not too many people are interested in Project Wood. I can understand. Okay, I can certainly understand some people are not feeling it. But I know I'm sure there's people interested in seeing the Neo boards, right? The Asus Neo boards. Let me see. The Neo boards are the e-gaming ones where they're kind of newly designed, where they have, which is this is nice. I'll exit this survey or this poll, and you take a look over here at this board. What makes it different is that it has, you see this connection right here, and you're probably like, what is that for? Some people might not know exactly what it's for. And what that does exactly is it connects the cooler. You connect the cooler from, say, an Asus type of, like the Rio Gen 4. You'd use the Rio Gen 4, and it connects directly without requiring any extra wires or extra connections, like for the, say, CPU, for the RGBs or for the extra fans. It's all interconnected to just this port. It's like a quick connect. So you don't even, it makes it that much more easier to install a cooler, AIO onto something like this. So I have some concerns about using wood. Could there, you know, it's funny that a lot of people do mention these type of questions, but as I mentioned a bit earlier, it's not really wood. Technically, it's more like a composite wood. It's like a that mix, like you know, like when it comes to decking, it's kind of like that. Like it's like the composite wood mixture. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's kind of more like a laminate. So let's go down here and see if they actually show it, because I know you guys are probably interested in seeing it. Of course, the M.2 ASUS makes it easy when it comes uh, to the actual magnetic clips, which is nice with the quick connects. They improved the design on this board. Like when it comes to it, it sits more flush in that sense. So I guess the X870E ASUS motherboard, they're all reskinned and anime themes. It's like a Mika, yes, the Mika theme. Someone did a cardboard case. Yeah, I saw it. You know, I saw that too. That's pretty funny that they did. A legit, yeah, it was pretty dope looking. But you can imagine that wouldn't last very long. That would be sketchy to actually keep. Here it is. So this is the Q connector, guys, and you just connect that to your AIO, and bam. Oh, they don't even show the AIO connected. I guess I gotta keep my mouse cursor on there so you guys can actually see it actually play through. So you just connect it in there, and as you see, it connects onto those pins, and bam, your AIO is installed. That simple. So that's the kind of stuff that makes it nice to build on ASUS motherboards. It makes it seem like it makes it easier at times. Like things like this certainly make it easier. They improved on the M.2 Q release, which is this here, where you just simply just pop it off. And you guys might be pretty familiar with it. It hasn't really changed completely, but one thing has changed is the Q. Oh, I think it's a Q latch. Where them? Not this one. Let me see. Not this one. Where's it at? No, it's what I'm talking about is almost similar to what they use for when it comes to gigabyte motherboards here. Oh, was it? It was Mr. Oh, okay, okay. So that's who it was. So they got the Q antennas, of course, the Q LEDs, start button Q code. There is one feature on here. Like you see this plate here? You can actually disconnect this through like a quick connect. So it's not like how it was before, where you would have to get a screwdriver and kind of line it up. Because that was a big issue a lot of people also had when it came to these motherboards, because it would just be a pain, right? To line up the M.2 drives. And then now you can actually use the Q Connect and actually just connect it directly, and it's makes it much more easier. And it sits even better. It doesn't have that weird clearance to where that there's some sort of like air leak through it. It actually keeps your SSDs cool because the thermal pads on there can actually stay compressed. So that's the nice thing about it. So he's the one that dumped tons of thermal paste on. Oh, okay. Excuse me. That makes sense. Cooler compatibility. And yeah, that's like everything that they have when it comes to the Neo boards. Now MSI has some decent stuff too that's also coming out. MSI has some of their, let's take a look. I'll show you MSI's improved boards. Motherboards. Who doesn't love looking at motherboards, right? So you take a look here into the product side, and we're going to go over to motherboards. And let's take a look more at their mag series, more of their line that those who don't want to spend a ton. Like this is pretty sick. The X870 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi PZ. If you notice that they took a lot of the green away from it, because originally there was a lot of green that was mixed in. And some people didn't like that. Now, when it comes to the MSI boards, this actually looks pretty dope. I like how they have the mix like this. But anyway, they do have the wonderful fan support here into the back, and again, this is more of their Project Zero type of board. They also have contained a more extended heatsink, so this is a little larger, and they do encase the 8-layer server grade copper PCB. Again, come on. I wish Asus would have done that 20 series in full copper. It would have been so nice. So let me just go back to that real quick after this. But as that dual rail power system, and of course this is all pretty much for the SSD side. And for those who want the back connectors, includes the CPU fans, the CPU, the ATX, USB-C, the SATA ports, and of course the I/O panel connections, USB 3, the fan connectors, ARGBs. So you can have it pretty much all completely hooked up through the back without any type of display of having any wires. So you can actually make it look very clean in that type of sense. So I do like the Project Zero boards, and I like the Gigabyte Stealth boards. Asus makes excellent BTF boards, which are the back to future boards, they call them, to where they put everything in the back. Pretty much similar concept to when it comes to Project Zero. I really hope that this is something that many people would be interested in. I think this is a great way of doing things, because the less wires you have on top of your motherboard is better for your PC, because you get better airflow. It will cool much better in that sense. Of course, if it's BTF, they have designs like the Corsair 5400 Air case, to where, again, a case that I certainly like, which is this case here, where they give the proper airflow when it comes to your PC. Meaning it's triple chambered. You have one for your CPU, which is going to be pretty much up here, and then for your GPU, which is down here where your fans are, and then over here onto the backside, you have fans here, and that's going to actually cool off your PSU. So this type of case is designed for those who want to take advantage of something like a BTF, Project Zero, or a stealth type of board. Now, of course, something like this, the case is priced at $180, which is good. That's not a excuse me. Of course, this has to come up at this time. I love the design of it. Originally, when it was first released, it was even more expensive. This is $180 used. They have it for $200 new. And again, it was originally priced at a little bit over $200. It was priced a little bit more expensive in that sense. But I think this is a great case to go with if anybody is thinking of that direction. Actually, here goes one. They actually show it right here. Somebody showing off their build. Take a look at how nice that looks. That's pretty sick. That is sick. But yeah, if anyone's thinking, they do have it in white, and they also have it in black. So they have two variants that you can definitely take a look at when it comes to it. Now, can you do a poll to see? Yeah, that's a good question. You know, that's a great question. So Hidden has a question for everybody. So we're gonna do a poll of, do you sit your PC on the floor or on the desk? So let's go ahead, put your vote in. Put 1 if you sit your PC. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix that, guys. It's not a yes or no question. It's gonna be floor, desk. So do you set your PC on the floor, or do you set your PC on the desk? 1 for the floor and 2 for the desk. Feel free to vote, but 1 or 2. What do you prefer? Because this certainly matters on cases. Depending on the type of case that you're planning to use for your PC, what do you do? So 2 people, so far we got a few people that put it onto the desk. Nice, we got quite a bit. What's up, Bobby? I see you called me out there. Oh, wow. We got 1 person on the floor. That's interesting. You don't see too many floor people anymore. You see a lot of people that like to display their PC now, I notice. I have it sideways towards the back, basically parallel with the wall. Okay. I see. That makes it. That makes sense. I get what you're saying. So I've seen quite a few people do that actually. Some people feel mixed. So far, do you put your PC onto the floor or do you put it onto the desk? Let me know what you guys think. I have it. I have a dog and the PC gets bad hair on the floor. I get that. Prefer on the desk if it's a big desk and components are running quiet. Okay. We have the majority. We have a decent 83.3% of people that put their PC on the desk. We only have very few people that actually put it. But I can understand why you can put it on the floor. It does save you a bit more desk space if you need it. But I'm sure some people probably make sure that they have enough desk space that fit their PC, because I know that's the biggest thing. When you look at PC cases, you want to make sure, I mean, desk, you want to make sure that you have enough room, especially for those who have like large monitors, like the ultra wides. I could see why some people could prefer on the floor. Where does the PC on the shelf mount it on the wall, floor, fall in there? That's a great question. That's more of a unique situation. You don't see a lot of those. The height Y70 Touch. Yes, it is. Everybody loves that case. A lot of people love the height cases. I have a big desk, but it still needs more room. Makes sense. How much will the new 50 Supers here? It's going to be expensive. They're going to be expensive. So for anybody that's curious about the 50 Super Series, how expensive it's going to be, it's not going to be. Don't expect to spend less than $2,000 on an RTX 5080 Super. It's definitely going to be more in the 50. I mean, not 50. It's going to be more in the 2,500 range, 2,600 range. It's going to be expensive. RTX 5070 Super, you'll probably be pushing closer to about like it's going to be double the price of what the 5070 Ti is. Like, not double the price, but it's going to be quite a bit more. 5070 Ti now is like roughly about like $1,200-$1,300. So it's probably going to be pushing more closer to probably like the $1,800 range. $1,900-$1,900 range, I would think. So if you're 35 plus, and if you ever opened a door on the desk and turned on your PC without that, that's funny. There's never enough room when you start. Yeah, it's whenever you start throwing things onto the desk, it takes up quite a bit of space. Like, I have a large desk, but it looks like I don't. Like, I gotta take a picture and I'll share it with you guys. If you guys haven't seen how my desk space is, it's quite rough. I have like a lot of I got like a lot of figures on here, plus I got like a router, and I got like a external hard drive that's hooked up pretty much. Plus I have the whole streaming rig hooked up, so it makes my 70-inch desk look like more like a 40-inch desk. So there's I don't think I would ever try liquid cooled, but I like it. Yeah, I get it. I get why some people want to try it. The reservoir replaced the front panel. Oh yeah. And that's a great question. I will throw to everybody too. Do you prefer air or water cooled? I guess yeah, that's probably the best way I could put it. So air or water cooled. And I will make this into multiple choice. Air, water cooled. Now feel free to vote. You put 1 or 2. Is your desk as cluttered as Frog Boy's? I'm not sure. I'm sure his is cluttered. I try to keep space onto my desk, but I got a lot of stuff that sits on it. I got a laptop that's here. I have like quite a bit. I try not to put too much weight on it. I don't like doing that either. Okay, so we got air so far. I like custom water cooled systems, but I'll never do it. You know, it's the care. Most people, to be honest, are going to be lazy, including myself. When it comes to water cooling, I love the look of it. I love to do it, But realistically, it's a lot of care. It's a lot of care into a system. You're going to have to do monthly checks to make sure your system isn't leaking. You have to make sure to clear out your reservoir and make sure to put fresh new mineral water in. So I've tested many cooling options. Water cooling is almost necessary. Ah, really? I could see that. I like the custom water cooled systems, but I'll never do it. So most people prefer more air than water cooled. So you have a good mix. We have a good mix here. Water cooled's amazing. Some if you have the patience of hooking up the fittings and doing the power supply testing and to make sure that the flow is looking good, it's not a bad thing to do. It's just more the patience side, and I feel like the it's also really hard to have the. Are you saying? I kind of debated that too. I kind of debated that whether to kind of consider it, but I'm talking more or so. I should have made it more clear. Maybe I should have put more of like custom loop. Yeah, the GB AIO. AIO. I can include AIOs. Maybe I should have made it. You know what? I'm gonna set the poll, guys. I'm gonna reset it because there's a lot of confusion here. So what I'm gonna say is air, water cooled, or custom loop. Custom loop. Custom loop is obviously a real water cooled system. I should change water cooled to AIO now. There we go. Now we got 3 choices. Now you can make your picks. Shrimp says, hello, I'm looking to build an M-ATX build with an M-ATX case, but don't know what case to choose. There's a ton of great cases, Shrimp. Ton of great cases to go with. Well, is there anything that you're looking in specific? We just actually looked at Lee and Lee's case. Their new case is pretty awesome. That's one to start off with. Fractional Design makes some great cases. If that's what you're looking for, Fractional Design is highly recommended. There's quite a few brands. I couldn't do a full loop because I'm scared to take my GPU apart. I get that. I could get that. The GPU doesn't need liquid cooled. These cards are well built within it. I agree. I think that's a bit like overkill. I feel like what's better to actually liquid cool is more so like the CPUs, like the Threadrippers. I think are like absolutely anything that gets extremely hot. You know what could use cooling is they always joke about it, the 12-volt high power port being cooled with water being water cooled. Have it like wrapped around in some sort of water type of custom loop. I love my fractional case. Yes. Cooler Master MF400, that's also a great one too. Just imagine if they did that. Like a custom water loop that you could hook up to your 12 high power port. You know how many people? It would be interesting. I think there would be some people interested in doing it. And then you can see the temps on the WireView Pro too. And then you can see how much more cooler it gets. I like my NZXT H9 Flow. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's funny. One of the guys that one of the guys, uh, Ricky, if that's what we use for his PC build. He got an NZXT H9 Flow for a really good deal. I personally have had not any issues with the 12-volt high power port, but I'm very good about plugging. Yeah, I agree. I've had again, I haven't had issues, but I can't nullify other people's concerns about it because it does seem like it's a very real issue. I think we've been very fortunate, the both of us, or for many of us, that's used it. NZXT, yeah, I know they used to. So it seems like we got our answer. Nobody even touches custom loop. Nobody's even truly seems like they want to touch it. Yes, this is Corsair's case. Yeah, we were looking at this. It's a 5400 Air. It's a really nice case. The plug has to be dummy proof because yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah, so you think it is that. You think that's causing high resistance, right? Oh yeah. So, fam bam, guys, I appreciate for everybody for coming in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled for all the wonderful members. If you haven't become a member, make sure you consider it. You get access to some um, backstage stuff. So feel free to join in. You can feel free to join in on our Discord, which is absolutely free as well. The membership, you pay a very small fee. It's much less than you would pay for either PS Plus or Xbox Game Pass. But thank you guys. Thank you all for joining, such as Dark Style Hidden. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Beeftown. Also, thank you, Animal, from joining in. Martin. I also got to thank our wonderful tinfoil hatter Shrimp. I got to thank our Bobby Cook Wally and T Dunn, Jamil, Bob. I thank all you guys for coming into this wonderful chat. Amir. I noticed Home Assistant is being talked about. Oh, really? Oh, really? That's interesting. But yeah, have a great weekend, guys. And I'm gonna throw this in there. This might piss off some Argentinians, but I gotta say, let's go Spain. All right, fam man. Thank you guys, and make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Join in onto the wonderful members page. I will show you some behind the scenes stuff, and I will release the Noctua video coming up right after this stream. Um, and thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Shrimp, for coming in as well. I know you probably came in last minute. Thank you guys all over on YouTube. I thank you guys over on Twitch, and I thank you guys over on X. Thank you all, and have a wonderful weekend.